So it has been announced that Module 23 will be launching within the month of June. Now exactly when? Well, we can have a look on the calendar and we can make some deductions since we'll be getting some free login rewards on June the 16th. And with that, we'll also have, you can see the Jubilee event and a really profitable event for guilds with ×2 guild marks, ×2 influence, ×2 shards of power. And on top of that, anything you spend guild marks on will be discounted. And yes, to go with that, you may notice that the Reaper's challenge is gone. Now don't worry. This event is not supposed to be an event. It's supposed to be actually just a queue that's always there. I assume they did like they did in the past with consoles where they essentially just forgot to list what dungeons would happen next. And so it's currently not listed, and we should expect a patch in the near future which will allow us again to go and do more Reaper challenges. Now as you can see with this claim free items, this is going to correspond with the Jubilee event, which is probably going to correspond with Module 23 as well. Again, of course, Module 23 could launch a week or two earlier. I'd be surprised if that were the case, but looking at these rewards, that's pretty massive. A legendary mount choice pack on the first day you log in, and then after 3 days logging in, 50 unbind tokens, and after 5 days, a mythic mount choice pack. Now this is pretty generous of Cryptic Studios, albeit they'll probably only do this once a year, and that's it. Legendary mounts, pretty good, and they used to be even better back in the day when mythic mounts didn't exist, and after 5 days you're even getting a mythic pack there. All of these being choice packs, and we can have a look on the auction house at those varying prices. We have the Armored Griffin, just over 500k. It does have a unique power of Piercing Screech, but at this point it's not really needed for that extra survivability. We'll see though in the new Trial of Tiamat. The Commander Tyrannosaur with really good power to increase everybody's damage, unfortunately doesn't stack with other T-Rexes. Unfortunately, the Tenniser's Floating Disc has had a lot of power creep and doesn't quite fit within the meta with its combat power. DPS you usually want like tunnel vision for maximizing your single target damage. Like this legendary Giant Toad. Pretty expensive, nearly 2 million, with its Giant Toad Tongue Lash, 3000 magnitude, massive damage within single target. And the Brown Siege Bear, no idea why you would bother picking it up. And then the Hag's Cooking Cauldron, pretty good combat power, but people are going to have to work around it, and usually you want to have combat advantage capped, and accuracy, sure it's good, but generally something that gives 15% extra damage like aforementioned T-Rex is better. And then the legendary Reconnaissance Balloons, again you can get a mythic version of this, and it does have the ability to increase target's damage but only by 7.5% when on mythic, and thus again the aforementioned T-Rex is better than it. 50 unbind tokens. Well, if we look on the Zen market, you can buy those tokens for 10 equals to 100 Zen or 100 equal to 1000 Zen. So that's 50, that's equivalent of 500 Zen worth of unbind tokens. Pretty neat. And then of course logging in 5 days, that's a mythic mount pack. The Feywild Griffin again has the same problem like the Armored Griffin, again same power as well, giving that reduction to enemies damage. It's okay, but again many people just want increased damage rather than extra survivability, unless Tiamat is exceptionally hard and has damage soak checks. We shall see. And then the Feywild Stag, pretty pricey there, 4 million, but in my opinion a pretty useless mount with regards to its equip power and combat power. Slowing targets is alright, but generally you're better off just stunning them and immobilizing them and so on. And then the Polar Siege Bear, again like the Brown Siege Bear, pretty useless in my opinion. And then the King of Spines, again another T-Rex with another Tyrannosaurus Rex and combat power, increasing the damage targets take, but again won't stack with other T-Rexes, so this one's the best one to take there. And then the Marvelous Reconnaissance Balloons, like the legendary version, but already going to be on mythic, and the combat power again like the legendary, just a bit underwhelming of only 7.5% increase to everybody's damage. And then the Hag's Hexing Cauldron, same like the legendary version, just going to give that combat power of accuracy and combat advantage. It's good alright, but people will generally want those stats capped regardless. So with that said, looking at these free packs, what you could look forward to if you don't have those mounts already, the legendary Giant Toad for single target damage is pretty good in the legendary pack, and for the mythic pack, if you don't have like the King of Spines, then that would be pretty much the best option there. With that said, we're getting a whole cascade of events during that time, and possibly a whole whole new module to go with it along with the Jubilee event. Just hope they don't go around this time and butcher it like last year, taking out those vouchers for the Zen market that you could get up to 50% off something was like a massive boon for this event. They took that away last year and then nobody really did this event. Perhaps they can add those vouchers in again, but I can see why they wouldn't, because it will generally lose them quite a lot of profit, in my opinion, from the Zen market with those coupons. But if people are buying Zen and then spending it with a coupon, that's better than people not buying Zen and not spending it at all. Overall, a very good time for guilds again, and pretty delighted to see some actually good rewards coming as free. Again, if you have these mounts, just getting them for a bolster can help. One thing though, I'm not sure if these are going to be account wide. Account wide means you can go and claim them on all of your characters back once you've equipped it on one of them, and that allows you to essentially gain that mount on every single character on your account, giving you a decent chunk of bolster across all those characters. This could be limited to just one character and that'll be it. This could even be unbound, but let's have a look again, and you can see it binds on pickup account, so no selling these items, and that can be generally to be expected. Unbind tokens you can definitely make some money off. Unbinding some artifacts, some weapons, those kind of things. You can see an artifact will cost you 50 unbind tokens to unbind when on Mythic, but you could unbind like a green one and that'll only be 10. And if it's a unique green one that sells for a lot, that you bind it once upon a time, then you could potentially sell it and get a good bit of profit. And otherwise there's weapons like the Lionheart and the Celestial from the trials, which nobody really runs anymore. Those can also sell for a pretty good amount, especially since the weapons are somewhat viable. Again, just more of an announcement and an analysis of those free rewards that are upcoming, and most likely we'll get module 23, if not before that, but at that time. And so I'd like to give a special thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. If I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.